Greetings, everybody. It's your old pal Frank here, and happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. So this, folks, is a little contest entry for the one and only Mr. Fisherbike. And he would like us to show off our 10 favorite vintage baseball cards. Now, mind you, I have my fair share of vintage baseball cards in my collection. I don't have a lot, but I have enough to put 10 of my favorites together. But prior to recording this, I decided to watch a couple other entries, and I don't think my 10 could even hold a candle to some of the others. I mean, one video in particular I watched was 4 soft corners. Wow. I mean, the 53 Satchel Paige alone was like, mwah, chef's kiss. And that is why that is the #1 card on my 2023 to get list, because I've loved that card for so long. I mean, it is such an iconic card and just a beautiful baseball card. And I think it's safe to say that if the opportunity presented itself to me, and I was confronted between the 53 Satchel Paige and a 53 Mickey Mantle. No hate to the Mick, but I think I'm going with the Satchel Paige, because how can you not, right? But still, I managed to put 10 of my favorites together, and I'm happy to be showing them off for you today. I will say this, one player that I show off in today's video appears twice, just because he's one of my all-time favorite baseball players, and so be it. Also, for those of you out there who are still deciding if you want to enter or not, you're still good on time, because the giveaway started on July 4th and it ends on August 4th. So you still got time to get your entries in. Also, if you're not subbed to Mr. Fisherbike's channel, go check him out. There's a link in the description below to his channel. He's got a lot of awesome stuff. I love when he does his off-the-cuff, videos in his car. It's just, I don't know, there's just something to him. Anyway, so without further ado, what do you say we get this thing started, shall we? So, the first card I have here is actually one that I just got in this past week. And upon second looking of it, it's in very nice shape. Anyway, so we have here the 1969 Topps Gaylord Perry. Now, I've always had a soft spot for Gaylord Perry. Myself personally, I find he is a player that doesn't get mentioned enough amongst other players. But I've always enjoyed the mystique of Gaylord Perry, because I think, as the saying goes, you gotta have a mighty big pair of cojones to write a book telling how you get away with your famous spitball pitch, or using the Vaseline on the ball or whatever, while you're still playing professional baseball. You know? So there's that. Also, I love how he mentioned in an interview that they would put a man on the moon before he ever hits a home run. And sure enough, in 1969, I think it was a day or like 2 or 3 days, I forget exactly, after Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon, Gaylord Perry hit his first and only home run of his major league career. That's pretty darn cool in my books. Second, we have Mr. Ken Keltner. Do you guys know who Ken Keltner is? Now, a lot of you probably don't, but I'm sure the baseball historians out there know exactly who this guy is. Specifically, who he was before he played with Boston, when he played for the Cleveland Indians. You see, this man right here is responsible for getting in the record books for ending probably one of the most famous streaks in baseball. Yes, Ken Keltner is responsible for ending Joltin' Joe DiMaggio's famous 56 consecutive hit streak on July 17th, 1941. I think it was 41. Yes, 1941. Also, he was a very modest 7-time All-Star, and he hit the now, I'm trying to phrase this properly. I don't have notes in front of me. I'm going off the top of my head here. I believe he hit the winning home run. Was it? In the only... Or, sorry. He hit the winning home run in the first... was it National versus American League single game or something. I'm saying it wrong, but yeah, Google it. So, Ken Keltner. Next, another card that I got recently. For this is a favorite of mine for a couple reasons. One, it's from my all-time favorite top set. So there's a hint for people who watch my channel. Secondly, it's an error card, which was actually pointed out to me when I showed this off in my most recent video. And secondly, it's one of my favorite interviews on the what's the channel called? The old baseball ballparks podcast. I'm saying that wrong too. I apologize. It's like 6 a.m. It's one of my favorite interviews on that podcast, and this man is also a newly elected Baseball Hall of Famer. It's none other than Mr. Jim Cott. Now, again, 65 tops, favorite set of all time, and that is my personal passion project to try and put that complete set together. I'm still not looking forward to buying a 65 tops Mickey Mantle. Ouch. Error card, because as you can see on the front, Cott is spelled K-A-T-T, and then you look on the back, it's spelled K-A-A-T. It was a great picture, and again, like with Gaylord Perry, I find he's not mentioned enough. And just an all-around great player. And again, 65 tops, just gorgeous design. Oh my god, I could look at these all day and not get tired of them. Next, we move on to 1970. O-Pee-Chee, actually. It's printed in Canada. We have the rookie card of one Mr. Bill the Spaceman Lee. Now, of course, here he's playing with the Red Sox. Not that I mind. Oops. I very much so am a fan of the Red Sox. But this is a favorite of mine because of the player itself, Bill Lee. He used to play for my now defunct hometown Montreal Expos. And when he did, oh boy, the antics. Oh, the antics. Oh. Now, mind you, I hadn't arrived on this planet to watch him play in his heyday with the Expos, but the stories, I mean, my two favorites, of course, the pancakes. You've all heard the stories of Bill Lee's famous pancakes. And how the date, I don't know. But there was a game in particular where I believe Bill Lee got yanked or he got in trouble. I don't know. He gets pulled out of the game anyway. Still in his Expos uniform. Leaves the stadium. I'm assuming at this time they were playing at the Big O. They weren't at Jerry Park anymore. Leaves the stadium. Goes across the street to a bar. Again, still wearing his uniform. Walks into the bar. Buys drinks for all the folks. And he's sitting there and he's watching the game on TV. Classic Bill Lee. Also, Josh Duhamel did a fantastic job playing Bill Lee in the was it autobiography or biography? The biographical film of Bill Lee's life, which Bill Lee actually cameos in. It's pretty cool. So, yeah. Bill Lee, I mean, how can you not love Bill Lee? Hell, you send him cards through the mail, and he'll put Bill Spaceman Lee, and I think sometimes he'll inscribe it like home ... Earth. Like, come on. Next, we got from 1956 Topps, Yankee great, Mr. Don Larson. Now, we all know who Don Larson is, right? And we also know 1956 was a very, very famous year for this man. Still to date, the only man to pitch a perfect game in the World Series. Need I say more? Next, this is a player who shows up twice in this top 10. Now, if Mr. Mangini was watching this, he would probably get mad at me for saying this because he has said that this is not his rookie card, but I'm going with it anyway. We have the 1960 Topps Carl Yastrzemski rookie card. This is a favorite of mine because, again, as I mentioned, Carl Yastrzemski is one of my all-time favorite baseball players. Again, even though he retired in 83, I arrived on this planet in 88. Never got to see him play, but from highlights and just literally a Hall of Fame career, 3,000 plus hits. I believe he's in the 500 club for home runs, or close to it. Again, 1967, the Triple Crown winner, which he held for years until Miggy finally became a Triple Crown winner. Like, how can you not follow this guy and be a fan? Well, he did play for Boston, so maybe if you're a Yankee fan. But anyway, let's not hate, you know? And this also is a big favorite of mine because when I got back into collecting baseball cards and hockey, etc., this was my very first chase, my big Target card. This was my very first, not holy grail, but card to keep if you ever had to sell your collection kind of deal, you know. One of the cards that you could absolutely not get rid of was this. And I was very lucky because this was 2018 or 19. This was on my top 10 list. This was card number 1. And I received this card on December 31st. Literally the day before the new year started. So, yeah. I hold this card near and dear to my heart. Next, we have the 1960 Fleer Babe Ruth. The Babe had to appear on this list somewhere. I mean, you know, to coin the phrase or scene from The Sandlot, you know, the Sultan of Swat, the Colossus of Clout, Babe Ruth, you know, the man who at one time was pure myth when his name was mentioned. He was a god among men. Sure, he loved to indulge in his cigars, hot dogs, and women. But still, the man was a heck of a slugger. We all know. 714 career home run. We know that. But did you know in Ruth's early days of his career, he actually stole home twice? And we all know him as one hell of a hitter, one of the greatest hitters of all time. But he was also a damn good pitcher, too. Yeah, no one really talks about that. So, you know, also growing up in a very sports-mentioned household. I mean, my dad, and when my grandfather was still here, again, hockey, baseball were the two big sports always mentioned. And Babe Ruth was also my grandfather's all-time favorite baseball player. So that's why when I see Babe Ruth cards or whatnot, I'm usually picking them up because he was my grandfather's favorite. And me and my grandfather, we had a really close bond with each other. So, yeah, there's a lot of things behind, you know, the great Babe Ruth. So, yeah. All right, next, This I actually found um, in one of my last trips to Plattsburgh, New York, for those of you who don't know, at a, well, there they're called antique malls. I love that. Here, to us Canadian folk, we know them simply as flea markets, you know? And anytime I'm in a town and I hear that they have a flea market, or now I know antique mall, I gravitate towards them because I always want to see if they have sports cards. And 9 times out of 10, they do. And this particular antique mall had a bunch of baseball cards in one of their display cases. And I mean, they had some late 60s tops. There was a Wade Boggs rookie card. Already have one of those. I'm not showing it because that's like after 1980. I'm kind of going with the pre-1980 rule for vintage, or trying to, which so far I've done pretty good. But yeah, so I saw this card in particular in the case, and I was like, oh, that I'm definitely getting. And it is the 1973 Topps Roberto Clemente, also known as Clemente's very last player era card, because unfortunately the world lost Mr. Clemente, I believe, in the same year, or was it 74? No, I think it was 73. We all know he was going to do a humanitarian relief effort, and I believe the helicopter he was on crashed, and well, we were robbed of a very talented baseball player in D, and just a very kind soul. I mean, 3,000 hits, just again, hell of a hitter. And I mean, I cherish his 65 Topps card. I have it in my set. But I don't know, this card always, I don't know, it always piqued my interest. I mean, not for the morbid, side of it's his last card, but just there's something to it, among it being his last card, just the picture of him on there, like you could only make out some of the features of his face. Everything is all shadowed out. It's kind of very ominous. But also, the thing I like about this card is on his stats, the very first year, 1954, don't mind the glare if you could see it, he was with Montreal. He was up here. He was with the Dodgers farm team, the Montreal Royals. And I mean, anytime I see Montreal on a card, just makes me so happy. So yeah, 73 Clemente. We're almost done. I'm happy a lot of these entries have gone 20 plus minutes, so I don't feel so bad, because as we can see, I love to talk. So yeah. All right, next we have probably one of the more, if you're taking into account price, which I don't, because I love all my cards equally. It's probably one of the more expensive cards in my collection, and it is, of course, my SGC VG3 1966 Mickey Mantle. So see, I'm not hating on the Mick when I did that little thing with the 53 Satchel Paige. No, you can't hate on the Mick, I love this card because, well, for one, it's my knack of watching a YouTube video in its entirety that I own this card. And that is because brain fart. That is because an awesome YouTuber on here that I know a lot of you know by the name of Mike, aka Canadian Cards, had this as his grand prize for his, I believe it was 150 or was it 200 subscriber contest. And basically, if you watched the video all the way to the end, you got your what to do pretty much for his contest. And lo and behold, I was one of the lucky ones who stayed to the end. Name was put on a wheel or put in a hat. I forget how he did it. And I was the big time winner. So, and yeah, this card sits specially right here in my display case, along with the Yaz rookie, and for everyone to see. And this too is a if I ever have to get rid of my collection, this one stays with me. And last but not least, we have another Carl Yastrzemski, and it is, of course, also from the 1965 Topps set. So, besides him being one of my all-time favorite baseball players, being on my all-time favorite Topps set, I love this card solely for the image. I love it so much that I have actually nicknamed this card the Hallelujah Yaz. Yeah. Because, all the other cards in this set, players looking at the camera, looking up a bit, in that famous squat, ready to receive the ball, playing catch, bat on the shoulder, etc., etc. But Carl Yastrzemski, they seem to take a picture of him as he was about to catch a ball, and both hands in the air, hence the Hallelujah Yaz. I know, very dumb explanation, but that's my explanation, and I'm sticking to it. So there you go, folks. 27 minutes. I think my entry is probably the longest. Go figure, because it's me. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you guys know the routine. Like, comment, which of the cards that I show off that you guys really enjoy. Subscribe if you like. Again, I'm not holding it against anyone. I'm not telling you guys, you have to subscribe. No, you don't have to. But if you like, be my guest. Because as I say, I'm always appreciative of everyone who decides to sub to my channel and watch me yap my face off. And, yeah, that's about it. Also, again, dip on down in the comments, description below. And go check out Mr. Fisher Bike's channel. Drop him a sub. Give him, all the likes and positivity you can. And I can't wait to watch more top 10 entries for Mr. Fisher Bike's giveaway. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great remaining Sunday. And I will see you back here on Monday, tomorrow. Oh, also, I figure I'll take this opportunity to give you guys a quick little update. I said my 500 subscriber contest was going from July 17th to the 25th. I realize that's only like 8 days, so I'm gonna let it go all the way to the end of the month, till July 31st. No, you know what? August 1st. I'm going to let the contest go to August 1st. So, anyway, you guys have a great remaining Sunday. Great remainder of the weekend. I'll see you back here tomorrow. So I say to you, laters!